we're in the frame.
We're in the frame. Perfect. We like
now
that.
we didn't mean for it to be this way, but for some reason it reverted to this way, this horizontal way. So I'm not even going to mess with it because I don't want to mess it up. So we're going to be in up and down mode.
We're going to make it work.
We're going to make it work.
And no matter what, the show must go on.
Yeah.
Okay? That's just how we see it. That's how we view it. That's how we see it. And guess what? That's how it's going to be.
So Coconut VR.
What's popping, Coconut VR?
Cora says, I'm new here. You both look beautiful.
I want to tell you guys something, though, because we're just getting on there. We just resolving our technical difficulties. But I wanted to do our proper intro. Yeah, is why I stopped you. But I can't do my intro. The lady said, go ahead. How am I going to do my intro, the Nino and Lo intro, without Lo? Is that possible? If only I had my understudy here with me today, our little granddaughter. She could have just popped in and do her little thing. But I got to wait for Lo to get back in order for us to just do our intro. And I want to welcome each and every one of you guys here today. You guys are absolutely wonderful coming to spend your Sunday afternoon with us on this here, our podcast. So check it out.
We are good, Coconut.
We are good. Here we go. Wagwan, beautiful people.
What's up, guys?
Come on, you gotta do it with a little enthusiasm. Yeah?
Coconut VR.
You gotta do better than that.
We're here.
Lo.
We're on. And the show must go on.
Yeah, as they say in Hollywood, the show must go on.
All right.
So here we are.
I promise you, this is the last week that I'm getting with this stupid camera.
Yeah, because we've been saying for a while that we gotta buy a camera.
Now Cora says that she's new here. Greetings from Canada. Wagwan. Where are you watching us from in Canada?
Canada. Let us know what's going on.
Canada is a big place.
As you know, it is. Hey, you know what though? Funny enough, Lo, I was speaking with
Mrs. Saga.
Wagwan Saga, big up your chest, roll up yourself.
Mrs. Saga.
Roll up yourself and put out
That's
your hand.
the West End, Wagwan.
Yes, ma'am. That's where it is.
Okay, welcome. Glad to have you here. We're glad to have Gary here. Do I realize what?
Do you realize, as you're talking about Canada being so big, how big the continent of Africa really is?
No.
No? It is huge. I was really viewing things on a map early on today and realizing that is a very large continent. The entire scope of North America plus and Europe can only fit in 1/3 of Africa. That's pretty big. You know?
Okay, we have 10 beautiful people here so far.
10 lovely people.
Say hello. Where are you watching us from? Is there anybody here from the continent of Africa? You just gave us that one nugget of information. I don't know why.
I brought that up to say.
What does that have to do with Wagwan, beautiful people?
It has everything.
We were talking about Mississauga, the man just threw.
Yes, it has
a nugget about Africa.
And that's what I love about this show is we just talk about what we talk about. There's no bad topic.
No.
There's no surprise.
I'm just wondering if that was a segue.
It wasn't a segue for anything. But,
okay.
But I was actually speaking with colleagues of mine this morning, and that was brought up, and that was a major topic. And I thought, hey, I just thought I'd refresh you.
Coconut says we're cool, so we have to take that. And Ian is here. Wagwan, blue eyes.
Wagwan, Ian.
Ian says good afternoon to you all.
Yes.
Well, thank you. And I hope everybody's giving us a thumbs up as they enter into the live. So I don't know if you penetrated my descriptions, because I do take some great pains in writing out the description with every one of my videos. But today, the topic is, would you like to read it?
The topic is.
I actually wrote it down for him. Oops. Go ahead. Go ahead. The price of convenience?
Little price of convenience. The price of convenience. Are we losing our skills?
That is going to be the topic of the day.
Very interesting topic.
Modern technology and all that jazz. Is it taking over? Are we losing our skills? Right?
Are we depending too much on modern technology?
So we have a few announcements, I guess, to make.
Oh yes.
So we've taken a little break. Ian says the price is high.
Mm-hmm. We have taken a little break, but it's for a good cause.
And that's because, I mean, when I say a little break, I mean that we haven't put out a video in about 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I have a bunch of them on edit, but I haven't been actively working on them. I've been really busy. We've had a new member added to the family. I did mention it on last week's live. So we have a new grandson. His name is Makai.
AKA.
Zuri has affectionately nicknamed him Digit. So, and that was before he was even born. So his name is officially Makai. I believe it's Makai Anthony, but they're not too sure with the middle name.
I think one of the thing was because Zuri had this name Digit in mind. And it took them
so long.
It took them probably about a week before they actually give the child an official name. Everyone just kept on referring to him as Digit. So we affectionately call him Digit. That's my little nickname for my little bundle of joy.
Now, Coconut is giving us all the thumbs up. Thank you, Coconut, for that.
We appreciate that.
Ian is saying the inflation is real. Okay, the price of things are really high, and inflation is real. That is for 100% true.
Ian, I was, and it's funny, when I start thinking, it might be a problem when Nino starts to think. Well, I was thinking this morning, and the thought crossed my mind.
Too often.
Don't pay her much mind. And the thought actually crossed my mind that the average person out there would have to work a full year's salary.
For what?
To buy a new car these days. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That is absolutely insane.
That is.
And that just gives us a perspective as to how things have gone up, how inflation has affected us.
Yeah.
And then we have this bumbling fool south of the 44th parallel that's throwing tariff all over the place, and it's just making things climb and things become more unaffordable.
We have come up with a topic this week that we've put a few talking points. So if you see us looking down, we have it all down on our computer. So we're reading we're referring to our screen because, you know, we're a little old here. We can't remember all these points.
All the points.
Jen Tosh is here.
What's going on, Jen Tosh?
Welcome.
Big up yourself.
Now, okay, so the announcements I was working on. So we have taken just a little pullback.
Yes.
We're still here. I haven't really been on. I've caught a few of the lives from some of the people in our community and a few pieces of shorts. But I haven't taken my usual YouTube dive where I'm swimming through the YouTube streets and looking at all the videos
and we have to apologize.
So I do apologize if you haven't seen us in your comments over the last week and a half to 2 weeks. But we'll be back. We'll be back
with lots of glory.
And the other big announcement is we finally launched our membership. We launched today, as a matter of fact.
We did launch our membership.
We have our membership now that is available. And
we're going to get our membership drive on the way, and you got to tell, as I always say, tell a friend, tell a uncle, tell a auntie, a cousin, a sister, even tell the in-laws that you don't like.
That's right.
Check out Nino and Lo, subscribe to the membership, and be part of the family.
Yes. So we have a few little perks there, some special emojis. We're going to do some members only live chats.
Some cooking demonstrations.
Yeah, as we get a little bit more comfortable with the whole membership and the perks and all of that stuff, we'll add to it and add different tiers. But to start off, our membership is $2.99 per month. So if you feel so inclined, you can go ahead and join our membership.
And you know that's less than a cup of Tim Hortons.
Yes, especially if you get them like me. All right, we have some new people here. Oh, yeah, hey guys, says Jen Tosh. Ian says insurmountable greed. We're gonna get to it. It's Ian. Yes. I see that you're ready to get onto the topic. Ian, I like that enthusiasm. Naeem says hello, beautiful people. Hello to you too, and welcome to our live. Now, Ian is saying congrats that we have our members. Oh, be careful. That we have our membership finally up and running. All right. Oh, Coconut is giving us all the emojis. I like the enthusiasm.
I like that name, Coconut.
All right. So we talked about the break. We introduced our membership and the topic, right? Are we too dependent on modern technology? And is it costing us to lose our skills?
And
what do you think?
What is it costing us?
What do you think? I want you all to weigh in.
Chime in and let us know.
Chime in, let us know. Please, if you're in the background, say hello, wagwan, what's up, Martin.
And don't forget to give those thumbs up, guys.
Martin is here. Martin says, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, Martin. Welcome. Big up yourself.
Martin, are you here in Toronto? Or not Toronto, in Canada?
And whereabouts on the globe are you, Martin?
Martin is on the east side. I think he's in
east side.
Either Halifax or Nova Scotia.
Down the east coast. We gotta love
Matt
that.
is alive. Said, I lost my wife's audiobook last night. Now I'm never going to hear the end of it.
Well, note to self there. Note to self, Matt.
He's never going to hear the end of it either. Martin says, I'm blessed. And he's in Nova Scotia.
Big up yourself, Nova Scotia. As they love to call Nova Scotia, down home.
No, I think that's Newfoundland.
No, people from down in Nova Scotia, they
Martin,
say down home. Talk to her, Martin.
Martin says, how's things on your side? Listen, Martin and Jen Tosh, I know you're a gardener. She says, yes, we are too dependent, definitely losing skills. That's right.
Lost a lot
Jen
of
Tosh can attest to this. On this side of the globe, Martin, it's been cold. The weather's been hot one day, freezing cold the next day. It's just going up and down.
It's not about hot and you get something in the middle. It's either one extreme
It's very extreme. And the rain over the last 2 weeks, it's been insane. So the garden is cold,
the grass is happy.
Wet.
Grass is happy.
And I'm not too happy. I'm way behind it on my planting. So I'm not too happy. But I mean, the grass does look good.
We're going to eventually get some tomatoes.
Matt is alive, says, my wife complains that I don't buy her flowers. To be honest, I don't even know that she sold flowers. Martin!
Hey, Martin.
I like that.
Let me suggest you get a Costco membership. And go check out Costco. They got some really nice flowers over there.
Boombastic says, free the goats.
Boom, into the room.
Yeah, we're not even going to go there, Boombastic. Boombastic says, free the goats. All right, let's jump into our topic. All right, here we go, guys. Are you ready for the deep dive into the topic? All right. Are modern conveniences making us lazy? Jen Tosh says, yes, they're making us lazy. So we have food delivery apps, we have AI, we have chatbots. You don't even have to have real life people friends now. We have online shopping. Everything is easier than ever. But at what cost? At what cost, guys, are we losing basic life skills like cooking, fixing things, even face-to-face communication? What's up?
Just a simple thing is saying hello to people as you pass them by. Everybody has their face down in their phone. They don't even see their neighbors.
That's right.
They don't even see They don't even see themselves in the mirror.
That's right.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, that's right.
It's about how tech and modern life have made things easier. But you say at what price? And the skills we might be losing. You know, we're losing a lot of skills. We're losing a lot of We're losing a lot of our culture and things that we would normally do on an everyday basis because we have become so reliant upon tech.
So we're going to discuss this. We're going to hear your stories. We're going to hear our stories, and we're going to dissect this little topic. Okay?
Rip it apart.
So get your drink, bring your thoughts on over here, and let's get real about this topic right now. All right. Jen Tosh. Oh, Andy W says, what's up? What's up,
Andy? Welcome.
Nice to have you
channel.
Here. Jen Tosh says, I'm confused and behind on getting plants in the ground. So am I. It's not the best spring here for gardeners, right?
Yeah, we got the weather's got to cooperate.
Now, Jen Tosh is saying we're definitely losing social skills. Matt is coming with another zinger. My wife tells me that I am the cheapest guy in the world. I'm not buying it though.
Ooh, I like that.
I like that
I'm
one,
not
Matt.
buying
I'm not
it,
buying it though.
That's a good one.
I like you here, Matt. You can come here with your jokes anytime.
I love that.
Coconut says, can you shout out my YouTube channel? Coconut, what's your YouTube channel all about? What's your YouTube channel all about, Coconut? You only have 120. You know, shout outs and channel subscriptions, it takes a little time.
Yeah, it's time and patience. You got to put in the work.
Ian says every app has a filter, but mirrors don't.
Ooh, Ian, you guys are coming with some zingers today. I like that.
George says hello, men and women.
What's going on, George?
George says, George, did you like your name so much? Your mama named you twice.
It's like New York. George, you came hot. As you speak about naming it twice, there was a lady I read about recently that had twins.
Okay.
Did I tell you this?
No.
She had twins, and when they asked her in the hospital, what are you going to name these twins? You know what she named the twins?
What?
The first one that was born, she named him Pete.
Okay.
A couple minutes later, the second was born. She named that one Repeat. No, that's one of the funniest things. I thought that was good.
Bring back. What's his name here with the jokes? Matt is alive. Now, okay, Ian.
Pete and Repeat.
I like that. Ian says every app has a filter, but mirrors don't.
Yes.
Very good.
And mirrors don't lie.
George says, are you gardeners? Well, I am the gardener here. George, are you a gardener? Jessica Elliott says, what's up,
going on,
guys?
Jessica? Big up yourself.
Nice to have you, Jessica. And how is Digit doing over there?
Digit, yep.
Matt is alive, is laughing at your joke.
Jessica is our princess, and she is the mother of Makai, a.k.a. Digit.
And Malia.
And Malia. Princess Malia.
George says, I want to grow some vegetables. Well, George, I have tons of videos showing you how to grow things. So if you want to know how to grow things, check out the channel, and you might find some help in some of my videos. Yeah. We do grow some vegetables. We're not huge vegetable growers, but we do tomatoes, plants, vegetables, and we get into peppers and herbs and stuff like that. This year we're going to do a little bit more if the weather would ever cooperate. Now, Coconut says, it is about a game that I really like. That's what your channel's all about. Okay. All right, well, we'll check it out.
That is interesting, for sure.
Richard DeRoche says, hi.
What's going on, Richard? Big up yourself.
Sab and Tony Wagwan.
Hey, Sab and Tony. Welcome to the channel.
Listen,
welcome to Nino
I was
and Lo.
watching Sab and Tony a couple days ago.
Yes.
And I must say, Sab and Tony, I like that new song that you have for your channel.
Oh,
it has a little reggae vibe. And I was watching, and I was on with the gentleman that was actually singing the song. He actually created the song.
I like that.
Reggae singer. Very nice voice. Big him up.
Excellent.
And big up the song. Very, very nice.
Excellent.
He needs to. I would go.
And big up Sab and Tony,
him
guys.
in a concert in the park. Yes.
Big up Sab and Tony. Go over and check out Sab and Tony.
And Sab and Tony are in Connecticut, I believe they are in.
Yes.
Nice to have you here, Sab and Tony.
Here joining us in this Sunday afternoon.
George says, do you know vegetables grow secrets? No, I didn't. How do vegetables grow secrets? We have David Hunter here, or is it David Hunt? David Hunt. David Hunt says, yo.
To the channel, David.
Sab is laughing. Hello,
let's talk about the secret. What kind of secret are you talking about there, George?
Jessica says, Makai, that's his name, Digit Makai.
Okay.
But I'm sorry.
Remember that.
Zuri named him Digit.
And again, as mentioned earlier, guys, that was the fault of the parents for taking a whole week to officially name the child.
So we all kept calling Digit. But his name is Makai.
It's Makai. His official name. It's government.
David says, do you grow okra? Well, David, funny you should ask. Yes. But this year we are growing okra, David.
And if you check out our channel, you'll also see some okra water.
Now, David, do pray tell, David, what is the significance of your question, sir? Tell us. Ian says, hey, and welcome to everyone. Congrats to Jessica on your growing family. David says, ignore my previous question about that green plant. Coach Mean,
what's going on, Coach? Well,
Coach
go on,
is
Coach.
here.
Big up yourself.
Coach says hello, my friends.
Always
everybody.
like having you here, Coach. Always
Listen,
a pleasure.
These are some of our YouTube friends
Yeah,
that are
man.
coming out to say hello
Coming out
today.
of the woodworks, let us know.
Coach Mean Reen is our kind of people. Well, you're all our kind of people, but I got some love from Coach Mean Reen.
I tell you.
And I'm telling you, she works you out. She does those
and
workouts.
Not only that, she loved me some stewed chicken and some provision.
And I like that she does the workouts for us big girls out there to prove that you don't have to be pencil thin to be fit. That girl is fit.
Yeah.
Sabantoni said yeah. And she's saying, Sabantoni are saying thank you.
Yeah,
Jess
wonderful.
is saying thank you to Ian. Coach Mean Reen is bigging up Sabantoni. We have Oxide Beck. Hello from Uzbekistan. Wagwan, Uzbekistan.
Welcome, Uzbekistan.
Nice to have you.
Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan.
Stop making fun of people.
I love that. I love
having you here. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome to the channel. We love you guys.
Now, Coconut wants to know what's our favorite holiday. Coconut, stick with the vibe, man. We're talking about modern technology and how that's affecting us.
Mix it up and blend it up still because, you know.
Ooh, George says 1 liter of urine, 20 liters of water is what is the secret to growing vegetables. I wouldn't be surprised. I've never heard of it, but I wouldn't be surprised considering that we put cow poop on vegetables in the form of manure.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised if people put urine with 1 liter of water to grow vegetables. But
it's interesting.
What kind of urine? What kind of urine?
I think I would leave that one alone, George.
Pinky AFM in the building.
Wagwan, Pinky, welcome to the channel. Big up yourself.
Pinky says this chat is clicking right now. All right, moderator.
But y'all gotta reach out.
Moderate.
Man. Y'all gotta reach out and call a friend and call an uncle, call a nephew, call a cousin, even call the in-laws that you don't like. Tell them to get on the horn and watch Nino and Lo because we are going to big up the thing today.
That's right.
All right.
So, as we said, our message today, our topic today is, can we find a balance between modern technology and the way things should be, right? George is saying it's free fertilizer.
We got to find a balance. We got to find a balance between what it used to be and what it is.
And what it can be.
Now,
Jen Tosh is addressing George here, and she says that the nitrate in urine is good, but nah. Yeah, I don't know if I want anybody peeing on my lettuce there, George. Matt Alive is coming through. Matt says, Matthew is from Boise, Idaho. Oh, yeah. Yes, we have internet here, not just potato.
I was going to say, that's the potato capital. Idaho.
Listen, I've never been to Boise, Idaho, but
you got some good potatoes that come out of that region, that's for sure.
Well, we're glad to have you here. Matt is alive, and we are thoroughly enjoying your jokes. Now, my urban garden is here. Not quite. I will use it to keep the deer away, but not as a fertilizer. Good thing to know. We don't have deer pressure in our garden.
Now, if you're using it to keep the deer away, what kind of urine are you using?
Well, some people use coyote urine to keep. They actually sell that in the store. I
actually heard about that
to
before.
keep, raccoons and skunks and stuff away from your vegetables. Yeah. Now, George says, "Goodbye, good men and women. Many kiss you and remember, human urine is better fertilized for vegetables."
Okay.
All right. I trust and believe. All right. Let's jump into this topic, guys. All right. Nino Elliott. There you go. Take it away.
Yes. What are we talking about?
So we're talking about things, modern technology, time-saving marvels, like things that we have today that save us time.
Now, there's a lot of things out there that save us time. Now, we find that kids, especially kids nowadays, a lot of teenagers, people in their early 20s, it's all about Uber Eats. It's all about DoorDash. It's all about these food apps that deliver the food right to your door. I mean, no one wants to take the time to get in their car, get out there, drive.
They just want to tap and eat.
Yeah, what happened to the days of you calling to order a pizza and showing up to pick up the pizza?
Or waiting almost an hour for the pizza to come because they're actually cooking the pizza.
And it's all about instant gratification.
That's right.
People want, and they're using technology to gain instant gratification for whatever it is that they so desire, be it buying something off of Amazon and getting it delivered to your door the very next day,
or the grocery kits,
or even Hello Fresh company.
That's right.
That's actually putting
everything you
food
need to
items
make
together
that specific meal
and only make that dish.
That's right.
So the fact of you not even needing a refrigerator because you're not going to have any leftovers. It's just, one meal in one package, and that's how it's prepared.
The grocery delivery apps, they package the food, they deliver it. You don't even get to pick your produce anymore. I'm not sure I like that too much. Now, Matt says, I like a few of the modern conveniences, but mostly I feel better actually walking into a grocery store and picking my own food. That's
and think about the novel idea of actually meeting someone or having a conversation with a human being while you're in the grocery store picking up those items.
Now, what about this? Smart home and automation, right? So you have voice assistants like Alexa and Siri or Google Home. They play your music. They control your lights. Ours here control our thermostat. They lock the front door.
And funny enough, I get up every morning and I say, hey, Google, what's the temperature outside? First thing
they'll tell you about the weather and everything else you want to know. See, did you hear that?
I just said that a while ago, guys. And Google just freaking answered me.
Hey, Google, what's the temperature outside?
The temperature in Scarborough right now is 14 degrees.
Did you hear that? It's 14 degrees here in Scarborough.
Talk about smart home.
That's right.
Now, but listen to this though, guys. As we go and deal with all these smart homes, smartphone, smart app, you realize we're getting dumber and dumber.
Oh, we're getting to all that.
The phone is getting smarter and we're getting dumber.
Now, my urban garden
insane.
says technology like planting software that helps you with the variety selection, automated watering, but you still have to get your hands in the dirt. Tell me about it.
Well, you get your hands in the dirt for how long, though?
That's
Pretty
right.
soon, you're going to have a robot getting their hand in the dirt for you.
Now, watch Queen cooking, traveling, and more.
Watch Queen, big up yourself.
Watch Queen just got back from a family vacation in Dominican.
We saw that.
Looks like she had a wonderful time.
I hope you.
She's saying
beautiful place.
Sunday blessings, Nino and Lo. Hello, how are you guys
Hello, Watch
doing?
Queen.
And
nice
she's
of you
saying
to join
Sunday
us.
blessings to everyone and hello. Nice to have you here. We're doing great.
Doing absolutely lovely. Now I'm looking at these numbers here, guys, and I'm seeing what?
It might be that we haven't refreshed.
We want to see some more. As you enter the room, guys, just give us a thumbs up.
Now, my urban garden says, I don't like Google Home or Android Auto. They sell too much of your data. That's another drawback, right?
And that is true.
Because
they're selling our data, and we're not getting the benefits of it.
And you get all these junk calls on your phone and emails. Watch Queen says, did you guys know that I'm sick? No, we didn't know that you were sick, Watch Queen.
We're certainly going to hold you in our prayers.
I hope you feel better soon. Oh, no. Ian says, I suppose the convenience for some is also access to folks who are otherwise going without. Like all things, however, balance is key.
Well, Ian, I got to say, though, that as we talk about people that are going without, we've gone through and made ways and made strives to get the things that we want. Think about what life was like before these modern technology.
Right. Like for instance, the robot vacuum. My son keeps telling me I need to get a robot vacuum in here where you just put the robot vacuum on and it'll just vacuum the place constantly. It detects where the dust is. And I even saw that they have a similar thing for your lawn. There's a robot lawn.
I did see that.
Lawnmower that'll cut your lawn, but I don't know about all that.
You can actually sit there with a beer in one hand and watch the lawnmower go back and forth.
Now, what about access to information, right? Instant search. And I think I've gotten I've really gotten dependent on this. Any fact or anything that you need to know, just Google it.
Fact check.
You have an encyclopedia in your hand. You're a walking encyclopedia now.
Absolutely. You know who haven't discovered that yet, though?
Who? You?
Donald Trump. Is that random?
Well,
seriously, because he says a lot of rubbish that you wonder, has he fact checked anything?
I guess.
Well, you can't leave him out of the equation.
You get a lot of online learning, right? Which is a good thing. So you can do
your classroom can be anywhere.
It's all at your fingertips.
Your classroom can be anywhere.
Have you guys ever taken an online course or anything on the internet? There's a lot of them out there, right? You can pay to subscribe. Even a lot of school courses now are online.
And I think a lot of that all stemmed from the pandemic and realized
Yes.
that there's so much more that can be done as far as education is concerned remotely. Remote meetings and so on and so forth. That's just become
I
so
like
much more
remote
popular.
meetings.
I enjoy remote meetings.
See, David says that's super random. Thank you, David. I was like looking
You know,
at him
David,
strange, like, what are you
know what,
talking
David?
about?
I'm just a random guy. If the thought comes to my head, and you know, all it is that you know, he doesn't fact check a lot. I'm
Now
just
Ian says
thinking about
that
the internet.
fool is
you
his
know?
own encyclopedia.
You got that, Ian. I love that, and you said it best. You said it best.
Okay, so where was I here? Online shopping made simple. Okay, I'm guilty of that, right? Online shopping made simple. If I'm in a store, I might not take the time to dig through every rack, but if I'm online,
You have time.
I will search that sale section, every single item in that sale section.
And here is where it becomes advantageous to have a business online where people can have access.
Yes.
Shop 24 hours a day, spend money 24
Yes.
hours.
Oh, yes.
Just don't let the wives get the credit card.
So you
when
make
they do that.
one click, quick
Okay.
purchases, Amazon, Walmart, anything that it'll come right to
and they
your
just
doorstep.
shop, and that's convenient.
Subscription services, right? You won't ever run out of anything. Like you can subscribe to different coffees, toilet paper,
paper towel,
makeup. Every
name it.
month it automatically comes. Baby formula, diapers. You don't even have to think about running out because you sign up for a subscription service and these things come to you every couple of weeks. You
So,
don't even have
so
to think about it.
at what point do we go back to the old-fashioned way of thinking and using our head?
Well, we'll get into
We'll
that.
get to that.
So
Okay.
right now we're listing all the ways that modern technology has changed our lives, right? Entertainment on demand, right? That's a big change.
You knew that was coming.
Entertainment
You knew
on
that was
demand.
coming.
So streaming services such as Netflix, Disney, YouTube. You watch what you want when you want. Do you remember?
But that is something that's been going on for a long time because
No.
the sheer fact that we used to have options you'd have a golf channel, you'll have a Western channel.
No, that's it recent times. But think about when you were a kid.
One channel.
Your show came on,
At a
I don't
certain
know,
time.
Wednesdays at 7:30.
Yeah.
You were home
That is
Wednesdays
true.
at 7:30 to
Because
watch
you knew
your
that
show.
was coming on.
When the Thriller video was coming out and it was being debuted on MTV, everybody was in their house to make sure they watched that
Anybody
video.
that was of age that knew about the Thriller video.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It could be anything, but nowadays, if you miss it, you can catch it on YouTube. You can catch the
Get a
replay.
rerun.
Right? So that's what we're trying to say, that everything is on demand. Where am I? Sam and Tony said that did my bachelor online, practically taught myself. There you go. There you go.
I work with a gentleman that actually earned his law degree online while working.
There you go. Now, Sam and Tony says, don't really like online shopping for clothes. I prefer to physically go to the store, but it comes in handy sometimes, though. I like it because certain things that I've bought before, so I kind of know how it fits, and I know what my sizing is, because I always basically go to the same shops. I like it.
Well, not only that, too, but I think they have apps online where you can actually do your own measurements.
True.
To ensure that you're purchasing the proper sizes.
Now, one of the benefits of online learning, or entertainment on demand, I should say, podcasts and audiobooks, right? You can learn and relax while you're multitasking. I think I would do well with an audiobook service.
Your own convenience.
Because I like stories, I like knowledge, but I don't always have time to sit and flip through a book, right? And sometimes with an audiobook, the inflection of the narrator's voice and how they narrate the story, it kind
really
of
drives it home.
Yeah. I think,
awesome.
and while multitasking, driving to and from work, perfect place to pop in
what
an
else do
audiobook.
you do?
Yeah, you just sit
sitting
there in traffic.
in traffic, right? So it'd be great to use your ears and
Now
gain
this
some
one's for
knowledge
you,
at the same
Neem.
time. A GPS and maps.
That's
no
right.
more getting lost on road trips. Remember way back when you used to have to pull out that big map, had to make sure, first of all, you had a passenger that could navigate.
That's right.
And
Not me.
if they say left when it should be right, like she doesn't seem to know her left from her right. Okay? She's very guilty of it. She's a very bad navigator. So
Or I
that's
remember
one
as
of
a
those
kid,
things.
sometimes we would take these long road trips down south to New York or wherever. If you get lost, you have to pull over to a gas station to ask the gas attendant directions, right? But nowadays, you can't ask the gas attendant directions.
They have no clue.
It's some kid. They don't know how to.
They don't have a clue. I remember once we were on the way to Atlanta. We drove to Atlanta, and we stopped off to ask a gentleman at a gas station for some direction. And I gotta be so honest with you, that man spoke an entire. He told me an entire story. But till this day, I don't understand a word that came out of his mouth. I don't understand a word that came out of his mouth. His accent was so thick. I just kept on smiling and nodding.
Now, Sam and Tony says that they love audiobooks too. And Watch Queen says, we are old school. We use a map. Yeah, you know what? A lot of the younger generation, they can't use a map. It's all about the GPS. As soon as they get in the car, it's all about the GPS, right?
Well,
and now the GPS even tells you where the red light cameras are.
Oh yeah, tell you where the
police
cops
camera
are setting
ahead.
up.
All right.
It tells you all that.
Now,
but Lord forbid they ought to get lost in a
where they have no signal,
where they have to use an old-fashioned
can they use
map
a compass?
Okay. Oh boy,
now this one is close to my heart. Paperwork and administrative work that's made simplified by all this stuff, right? Online banking, doing e-signatures when you're filling out paperwork, that makes everything so much easier instead of having to download the form, fill it out, then fax it back, all them things we don't do.
Yeah, it does make things easy. You can do your banking 24/7.
Yeah, no, we're caught up. We're caught up to the chats.
You can do the banking in your pajamas if you want, any time of night. You wake up in the middle of the night, you remember you had a bill to pay.
Yeah.
You just hop online and do it.
And now you can actually scan forms from your phone. I hope you guys know that. There's a feature, well, on your iPhone. I don't know about the Android, but on your iPhone, you can just scan and then it goes right to your email and you can just send, even if it's a PDF, or I think it scans it into a PDF form. You see all these technical jargon that I'm using. This is all modern technology, right? When we were kids, we didn't know what a PDF was. Raunchiness and the Beast is here.
Raunchiness and the Beast.
Raunchiness says, get off YouTube, you boomers. No one cares about your opinion. Listen here, Raunchiness and the Beast. Listen here, Raunchiness and the Beast. I think our opinion matters.
I think so too. Just like we respect yours, you need to respect ours. Because you can learn a lot from us as we can from you. So jointly, we can make a great team and make everything really well.
Tony says, thank God for GPS. If you're in the Caribbean, directions, it would be...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
It would be... Go down south, turn where you see the White House. Remember, there are multiple White Houses. True. Let me tell you, Caribbean directions are next level.
Where you see the cows, turn left, and you better be sure the cows are in that spot that day.
That is so right.
Go in the wrong direction.
Amazing M&G is here. Thank you, M&G. Haven't seen you in a while. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. She says thumbs up is done. And Ninja Twan. Our friend Ninja Twan is here.
Wagwan Ninja.
Nice
Last
to
time
have
we
you
saw
here.
Ninja was around Easter time.
The amazing M&G says hello, Nino and Lo. And love, Nino and Lo.
Nino and Lo.
How are you doing today? We are doing fantastic. I hope you are doing well in sunny Jamaica, the amazing M&G. Nice to have you here.
What's the weather like in Jamaica today, M&G?
Ian is telling the rude one to speak for yourself.
You better know.
Ninja Twan is saying hi to all. Gary says the AI side of technology is extremely beneficial for certain pursuits. For example, if you use a note-taking app, you can now ask AI to ask its AI feature to search. You can now ask its AI search feature to summarize your personal info for inspiration. Wow.
And that's a positive. That certainly is a positive for technology.
The guy that came up called us boomers. I like to call us rotary phones. Thank you very much.
That's right.
But us
by the way, Mr. Man or whoever you are, do you know what a rotary phone even is? Do you,
Do you
really
know how to dial
911?
967-1111? Remember that?
Call pizza.
Oh, you gave it away.
Oh,
I wanted
shit.
them to guess to see what it was.
967-1111.
I remember my friend's mom. She was a new immigrant at the time. This was way back when. Way back when. And she used to say 967-1111. Anyways, the amazing MG says, greetings to everybody in the chat. And thank you so much for your blessings, Watch Queen. Amazing M&G says that they are watching from Portland, Jamaica.
All right,
I've never personally been to
we
Portland.
gotta venture to Portland.
But we
Portland's a
have
nice
to go
place.
there. Yeah, I hear
Nice
good
place.
things about Portland. The amazing M&G says, thanks so much for your warm welcome. I am here on the job. Okay, she's on the job. Well, don't work too hard on this great
it's a Sunday, girl.
And she's saying happiness and love to everybody. And she says they've had rain there since the morning.
Oh, boy.
I think it's been raining all over the
raining. The
world.
weather has been cooperating. But,
See, Watch Queen knows about pizza.
Pizza,
So does Ian. Pizza. Hey. That used to be the song.
Even though it's not my favorite, but I'll go with it. You know.
All right. So my next point was staying connected.
Yes.
Right?
Now we've done well with that. Staying
Yeah.
connected with all the social media, all the video calls.
He likes to use WhatsApp.
I use WhatsApp
and he'll
for
speak
everything.
to some of the relatives that he wouldn't normally make a long distance call, right? WhatsApp is a great app for making long distance calls, video calls,
communicating
all around the world.
Amazing that I have an elderly aunt in Jamaica, Auntie Bibbs. Wagwan, you're probably watching us. Auntie Bibbs would even call me on video call on WhatsApp. Yeah. And that to me is amazing that I can actually see her.
So
she can
those
see me and
are all the benefits, right? Staying connected.
Absolutely.
Sending photos, updates. When you have a milestone,
when you have
announcement, you don't have to call like 10
right.
people. You just send out
a WhatsApp message.
That's one message, right?
Boom it out there. You know?
So what skills are we losing though, guys? What skills are we losing? All right.
We seem to have lost a lot. Now, as far as, skills, you think about this, people rarely cook from scratch these days.
That's right.
Everything, again, is, prepackaged dinner, frozen meals.
Yes.
Companies that send these perfect perfect to them recipes
including the spices, right? That's HelloFresh.
To prepare stuff. We have to get back to cooking. One of the things that I have a problem with traditionally, we're from Jamaica, and traditionally in Jamaica, you drink soup on Saturdays. There's always a big pot of soup prepared, no matter what flavor or what ingredients on Saturday. I go back to Jamaica now, and it's Saturday. I'm saying, where's the soup?
It's the cup soup.
They pop out the ramen noodle and the cup of soup. I'm like, are you out of your mind? My granny would be rolling over if you did that.
Now,
man.
Now this is you. Like, I must confess, if I get a pre-packaged, meal packet that comes with all the ingredients and the seasonings,
you would love that.
I'm okay with it. It depends on what it is. He would never ever dare touch it because he is so precise when it comes to
will not even
spices.
Touch. If you take a blended spice and somebody will say, Nino, use this. This is called steak spice. I'm not interested.
Yeah, he won't.
I would like to put my own blend together.
He won't use any of the blends. But for people like me, I like to use a blended spice.
Not for me, because I know when I make my own blend, I know exactly what it's going to taste like.
Now R&R is here, and they say, "Hello, what's Nino cooking us for dinner tonight? What are you cooking, Nino?"
I'm not cooking a whole lot today, other than we're cooking up the show today.
Oh my gosh,
that's what we're doing.
So Watch Queen is agreeing and saying that's so true. Yeah, Nino would never use a prepackaged spice, and the art of mixing your own spicing blends, we're losing on that because I know I can't do that. Nino will say, "Oh, it needs a little bit of this or it needs a little bit of that." I don't have that skill to be able to just mix up a spice. Now
we need to, not only do we need to restore those skills, we need to sharpen them. So we gotta get with it.
Yeah,
get with it. Absolutely.
But these are the things that modern technology is making a lot easier, right?
That is true.
Because nobody has time to waste.
So we also talk about, skills and how technology has advanced us, like DIY, repairs and maintenance.
Yeah.
There's an area that I am very weak in the DIY.
He can't sling a hammer, guys.
I can't sling a hammer.
not to save his
I'm
life.
no good at that.
Nah.
So taking on a DIY project is a good thing for me because that kind of boosts my confidence.
Now,
to
where
be
do
able
you
to
go
things.
to know how to change a tire, unclog a drain? I don't know.
Where do you go to learn how to change a tire?
YouTube.
That's the only place to go.
You go to YouTube.
The only place to go. YouTube.
Once upon a time, when I was a kid, and my dad was a carpenter, so he usually knew how to do those things, but I would go with him to the hardware store. This is even before Home Depot, right? You had local little hardware stores. When you would walk in the door, there would be nuts and bolts and rivets and
Mom
divots.
and Pop would know your name.
And the guy that was behind the counter was an expert in all of these things. And he would be able to talk you through how to do all these repairs. Nowadays, you don't have mom and pop hardware stores. It's all about the Home Depot or the Rona. And if you live in the States, the Lowe's, right? Or YouTube.
A lot of the fix it yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not a fix-it person, but I do go to YouTube
I do have a couple
so
projects.
that I have an understanding of what
I have
needs
a
to
couple
happen.
projects on the way. One of the things, guys, is that the AC in my car just kind of gave out. And what I was told by a friend of mine is to go out and get some sort of stop lead that you're going to insert in the car, in the tubing in the car.
And you're going to do it yourself?
I'm going to do it myself.
Wow.
And I went on YouTube and I kind of saw how it's done. I kind of have an idea. So I've got the kit in my vehicle right now that tomorrow might be the day, but I am going to try it. And I wish me some success.
Yeah, wish him luck.
If
if your car blows up with the AC,
don't call
me.
I'm going to try it though.
Learning how to share a lane well helps like a map leads the way. That's so true.
Wow.
But nowadays people are
learning how to share a lane. You know well.
If you have an expertise in something, right?
Yeah, I like that.
Now, research and critical thinking. This is an area that, modern technology.
Are we lacking?
No, modern technology has advanced us, right? Like the whole just Google it, right? Now, I'm a researcher at heart. I like to research things to the bone.
Research things to the depth.
I fact check. Nobody's fact checking anymore.
If
something is on the internet, people take it as gospel. Whether it's true or not, they take it as gospel.
I'm just surprised. I'm surprised no one has tried to do some sort of internal surgery.
Yeah, but much fewer people know how to evaluate a reliable source.
Be a doctor in 2 weeks online.
Okay.
There you go.
Now, I've told you before what I do for a living, right? I work in emergency. And a lot of people that come to the hospital seeking medical attention, they do come, they answer our questions, but some people, they don't answer our questions. They tell us what's wrong with them. And that's because they've been to Dr. Google. And they come and say, this is what's wrong and this is what I think I need. This is what
Dr. Google says.
Medical professional has a chance to do any type of evaluation, right? Now, I agree that you can use Dr. Google to try to maybe get an ideal of maybe what could be going on, but you got to let the experts do an evaluation, right? You got to. Now, Ian says, Lo in the garden and Nino in the kitchen are leading me, and sharing the laughter is the best spice for life. Thank you, Ian.
Ian. I love that. I love that spice cabinet. It's a lovely spice cabinet.
You need to mix it up. You need to mix up the blend,
man. All the right ingredients.
Now, Gary says, ever notice that you invariably let autocomplete finish sentences? Sorry, Gary, I keep messing up your sayings. Ever notice that you invariably let autocomplete finish spelling your words for you in texting? That is so true.
That is true. More and more we allow that.
We're actively reducing our spelling skills, so that's an unfortunate loss.
That is true. We are doing that a lot more.
And you know what? I always hear sometimes my kids or my nieces and nephews, the younger generation, will say bear things. I got bear shoes. I got bear money.
And
I always say to them, spell bear. What do you mean bear? You got bear things? Bear things? What does that mean?
Grizzly bear?
Or
polar bear? What bear?
And what irks me the most, okay? Oh, that's just the thing that's out there. What irks me the most with texting is the word your. Y-O-U-R and Y-O-U''re. I don't think half of today's population understands
the
the
difference?
context of how to use those two different spellings. Most people just say Y-O-U-R for everything. It irks my boat
Y-O-U-R for everything.
for everything.
You know what my biggest pet peeve is with that?
What?
And you guys are going to find this silly. And thank God for auto spelling.
Because you don't know the difference?
T-H-E-R-E and
Oh,
T-H-E-I-R.
he gets that mixed up all the
I've
time.
always had problems.
There,
It
as
has
in
never
over
stuck.
there.
It has never stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And I've always had, always,
Yeah.
forever. Just like how you can't tell your left hand from your right hand.
Take it back.
I'm not going to take it back.
Listen.
It's facts.
I
She doesn't know right from wrong.
spelling.
And she doesn't know left from right.
The whole
And I don't
spelling.
know T-H-E-R.
Yeah, the whole spelling gets me. The whole spelling thing gets me. And they don't, and cursive writing. Can anybody write to save their life these days? Trust
No,
me.
you
I don't
write
even
cursive
think
anymore.
they teach
Do they
these
teach that in
things
school
anymore. Grammar. And because of all this auto spell and autocorrect. Now, Dave says, I actually spell out all my words. There you go. And he says, like I just did, there and theirs. That's right. Those are the two theirs, David,
There and
that
there.
Nino always mixes up.
David, I got problems.
Oh,
with them.
Ian says
I got
whose
problems.
and whose.
Who's?
Whose
Oh, yes, that's a good
And
one.
H-O-W-H-O apostrophe
Whose?
S.
W-H-O-S-E and W-H-O apostrophe S.
Doctors. Ian knows this. Doctors have the worst handwriting.
Handwriting?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they really do.
Maybe I should have been a doctor.
Look at this. Dave is saying
Dear,
dear, dare,
and
and
dear.
dear. You see, all these
Ah.
things. I don't
Wow.
understand how somebody who doesn't,
Dear,
English isn't
dear,
their first
and
language, they must have
dear.
such a difficult time.
Yeah,
Look at that.
that's tough. That's a
All
tough
those
one.
words sound the same, but they're spelt different. But yeah,
All
that's
depends on the context
that's
in
one
which
of
you
my
use
pet peeves. Okay, now what's my next point? Social skills and face-to-face interactions. Right?
Texting.
Look what we're doing right now. We're doing a live. Doesn't require us to have any face-to-face interaction. We are still advancing our social skills because we're interacting. You guys are interacting back with us. We're having feedback and dialogue, right?
And what I can get, those all the emojis. Sometimes I look at my phone and I wonder, what the heck does that mean? What does that mean?
More people are getting comfortable with less face-to-face talk, conflict resolution. Because if you're not face-to-face, you don't have to resolve a conflict, right? Somebody can just pop in your chat, say whatever they want. All you have to do is block
I was
them.
actually in a room of people the other day at work, and I stopped and I paused for a moment and looked around the room, and if there were 20 people in the room, 18 of them were staring at their phones. 18. There was no one communicating with each other. Everyone was in their own little world.
Now
Speaking of
this
the
one
world.
here, this is our son Tremaine. I'm always correcting his grammar when we text between each other. And you mentioned something to me the other day. Do you remember what you mentioned to me about kids and telling the time?
Oh, yeah.
What did you say?
So kids these days, they don't know how to tell time because they don't watch cable television.
Right.
They don't have to make sure they get inside the house at 4 p.m. Eastern time to go watch Bobby's World.
That's right.
They just put on their iPad, turn on YouTube, and they have no sense of time.
That's right.
I knew I had to get inside at 7:30 to go watch The Simpsons or whatever it was. So
Right.
I know, like it gives you a sense of time. These kids have no sense of time because
Because it's run 24
they
hours.
just watch
right.
it whenever.
They
just
watch
put
it whenever.
YouTube,
There's no
Netflix,
time.
Disney
Yeah.
Plus, whatever. So
We, back in the day, we knew our sense of time based on certain things that came on, right? The Flintstones came on at lunch.
At
When the
lunchtime.
Flintstones was over,
Time
you
to
better
go back to school.
You better get back to school.
Otherwise, you're going to be late.
That's right. That was
And not,
I thought
and
that
not
was a
only
good
that,
point.
but Irv
Weinstein.
Weinstein, what did he used to say?
It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? That's
Ooh.
right. See, this
He's
was a guy
asking
that
who?
used to
Irv
come,
Weinstein.
He was
used
a
to come on the
newscaster.
news.
He was a newscaster. And
Out of
every
Buffalo.
night,
Sounds like an unscrupulous character.
every
No.
night he would say that.
He was a very respected newscaster out of Buffalo, New York. WBLK. Irv Weinstein
Irv
from
Weinstein, yeah.
WBLK.
No,
And-
WBLK was the radio station.
Or yes,
was
yes,
the radio
that's
station.
right.
I don't remember what the Buffalo
Okay,
station
look at
was
that.
called.
Dave is saying your and your. That's right, Dave. That's the your and your that irks me.
Or what about there, and there?
Someone said there.
There, and there is the worst.
And dare, and
Or
dear.
you know what's another one? I'm and am. That one's crazy, but I don't know how people say like
I
I'm going to the store.
Yes.
What do you mean I'm
Somebody
going
sent
to
me
the
a text
store?
the other day
No,
with
but
that.
then-
I'm going to the store.
Then, when you talk about all these shortcuts, guys.
No, that's not a shortcut. I'm going to the store is not a shortcut.
I know that, but
That
I'm
is crazy to
saying
me.
that nowadays, because your generation can't spell, they use these little shortcuts.
You ever say shortcuts in real life? Like if someone tells you a joke, when you respond and say LOL?
Well, that's
No,
the number one
like,
shortcut.
you're
LOL.
Actually, no, you actually say the word.
No, I
like,
don't say LOL.
Someone be saying that, you like, yeah,
I don't say
I
LOL.
do that all the time.
LOL.
They
No, you
mix-
don't type it. You actually say it with your words.
They
like,
mix
LOL.
up bad grammar with not being able to spell, with now having these acceptable shortcuts. They're never gonna learn to spell. Where are we here? Though, and those. That's a good one.
That's a good
Watch
one.
Queen is saying though, and those.
Does anyone know how to do math anymore?
Oh.
Speaking of that.
Now,
Divide
Watch
and
Queen says
subtract
that's
and
so true about
multiply.
children and the time. See, David's saying there, and there. That's what Tremaine was just talking about. Now, R&R says some kids don't even know how to read an analog clock.
And that is something else, eh?
Because everything is digital now.
Everything
And I
is
remember
digital.
Dream Warriors had a song, I feel like digital fighting analog. That
Yeah,
is
yeah.
so true. And there was the
Digital
other
fight
song,
analog.
Video Killed the Radio Star. Well, now
We can see it.
AI killed the digital
That's it.
and the radio star. Right? AI is the new generation, so everything is gone when it comes to
Everything
AI.
is digital.
David says am and I'm. That's what Tremaine was talking about, right? Ninja Twan says, what do you mean our generation can't spell? That's another one.
Can't spell.
I'm telling you, these acronyms that you guys use become 100%
It has become norm.
English.
Yeah, it
like
has become-
bear things.
Yep.
I always say
Beer
that,
tings.
What do
What
you
is
mean
beer
beer
tings?
tings? I got beer tings. I think there's even a song called
Beer
beer
tings.
tings. It's crazy. Ninja Twan says, Lo, I do. I beg you, take it back. Nah, take it back. Oh, no,
Ninja
can't
Twan, it
spell.
is facts. It's
Now,
facts.
Gary says,
You guys spell like you talk.
thank you. Thank you. Now, Gary says, grammar note. People are losing the ability to distinguish between contractions, meaning there's, for there is, and possessive pronouns, which communicates possession, i.e., it's their house. Thank you, Gary. I couldn't have said it better
There's a
myself.
lesson for all to learn.
Now, if you guys
There's a lesson
haven't
for all to
already
learn.
picked it up, Gary McIntosh, that's in the chat, is an author as well as a linguist. So he is an expert in the study of language. So these are things that we're all thinking that we can't put into words. He just beautifully explained the whole bear,
Well
and the
done.
there.
Well done, Gary.
So well done, Gary. Thank you.
Because me, I soak it up myself because me, I learned something.
Red's room.
One
yeah.
Red's room. What, the drinks them are coming
The
out.
drinks
Red's is
are
here.
coming out. Red's room
Reds
is
is
here.
here.
Big up yourself,
What's
Reds.
going on, Reds?
Glad to have you.
In case you guys don't know, Reds is our local bartender that always comes packing
See?
drinks.
David is laughing. He
I
says
love that.
he's saying LMAO because his
LMAO?
daughter just said that to him literally.
Jesus.
I think he means
Wow.
they just said beer things.
LMAO, eh?
Everyone's bigging up Reds, and Reds is bigging up everybody. Reds is passing out the
Oh
drinks.
boy, the drinks are out.
Everybody.
Reds is here.
We're about to go down. The
now
drinks
we're
are
gonna
coming
get
out.
crazy. Now we're gonna get crazy.
Now, Ninja Twan says, when I'm in English class or writing in a professional setting, and yes, they do switch it up. I believe they call that code switching. You can either code switch to your generation, meaning that you speak like as if you're speaking to your homie, or you speak according to your race, right? Let me quantify that a little bit. Meaning, Ebonics, you might speak to your homie in a way
Ebonics.
that's a little bit different. But when you go to work, you switch it up. You code switch it, and you speak more proper in a more generalized language where
It's
everybody
kinda
can
like patois.
understand.
Kind of the
Not even patwa,
Cut you up and chop you
but
up.
yeah, kind of like that. But you're not going to do that in a professional setting, right? Even in Jamaica,
True.
when they're in the gully, they talk about they have a
The gully
different
thing.
kind of slang. But
The
when they're
Gaza
at work,
thing and the
it's
work
very
thing, yeah.
proper and it's very uptown.
The family please type of thing.
Yes.
All right. I see it.
So I get that. However, when me I type how me chat. But sometimes us rotary phones, I don't understand. All I see is PPL, and I have to say, question mark? Like, speak English, guys. What are you saying? So take it easy upon us rotary phones, or the boomers, as that guy called us. Red says, is bigging up everybody. Watch Queen. Says, Reds, I need a drink. I'm so sick.
You better make that a double over there for Watch Queen there.
Everybody say a silent prayer for Watch Queen. She's not feeling very well today.
Now, did you get sick while you're on your vacation or after you return from your vacation?
That's too bad.
I wish you full recovery there, Watch Queen.
All right. The other thing that modern technology has taken over is this financial literacy and budgeting, right? No longer are we having to go into our pocket and figure out how much money we have or make change. Everything is all about the tap, tap. And if that tap isn't working, God help you.
Yeah, you're done.
And everything is so convenient now.
Or send me an e-transfer.
E-transfer. So you have a wallet that you put all your loyalty cards instead of digging through your... you don't even have to carry
You just tap your phone.
You buy a ticket for a concert, it goes directly into your wallet. It's all about the tap. So you're not even having a sense of what your budget is. You're just tapping aimlessly.
The thing that we have to remember now about tapping, so very much like when you go to some, say you go to a resort, and this resort, and I often experience this when I used to belong to a golf and country club. When you go there was no money ever exchanging hands. All you do is you just sign or you tap. So it's very easy to spend and overspend without even realizing that you're spending and overspending. And this is the whole premise, I think, behind this whole convenience of tapping is, as Lo says, you completely throw your budget out the door because you don't know how much you're spending.
Now
go on a cruise. That's a great experience.
Oh, you'll overextend
your damn
yourself
life away.
in an instant.
Tap your life away without even realizing.
Now, Watch Queen says she got sick when she came back. Well, I hope you're doing okay. You're keeping your fluids up, and you get better soon.
It could be the weather. The weather hasn't been that great.
Jen Tar says interact is the devil. And you know what I did? I tell you what I did this year, Jen Tosh, because I'm a sucker when it comes to buying plants in the spring, especially when I come upon a rare specimen that I've been wanting.
Is that almost every day?
Almost. So I just have a specific account. I don't tap from my regular checking account. I tap from a different account. And what if it doesn't tap over there, I ain't getting it because sometimes I think I overextend and I don't realize.
Sometimes
I don't realize how much money I'm actually spending on plants.
I think you spend an awful lot,
But it looks nice.
Yes, it does. But you do spend a lot.
Now,
Ian
said, "Oh no, full disclosure." Ian says, "For hoping for a full recovery soon. Watch Queen. Oh, that's so sweet." Red's Room says that just reminds me. I just double tap the screen for a like. Thank you, Red.
Appreciate
and
that.
Thank you for the traits.
Tap.
Jen Tar says, Mother's Day, I went with my kids and the waitress wasn't able to split the bill.
They don't do that anymore.
They do that sometimes.
They're very reluctant.
And guess what? Now,
listen,
there's a specific app that does that for you.
Well, hear this. Have you ever gone to a store to buy something, no matter what it is, and as you're about to tap, they have the screen up where, do you want to tip 15%, 80%?
Yes.
The hell do I need to tip you for?
A regular grocery store
I didn't
or clothing store. I
just went and got my own food. I just went and did my own. But yet you're asking me, they've set these machines up, and this happens, I realize, after COVID.
Yeah.
Whereas they're trying to recover
Well,
money.
Jen Tosh, that was a signal that you were supposed to pay the whole bill. Don't, whenever we go somewhere and all this freaking split bill or whatever, we just go and we just tap. You end up paying up the whole bill, right?
Paying the whole bill.
Ian, Watch Queen is saying thank you for the get well soon. Jen Tosh said she made an error in splitting a simple bill. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
And she probably did it herself instead of using an app.
Get the app. Jen Tosh, get the app.
Ian says the inconvenience of having bad credit. Trust me.
Yeah.
Bad credit in 2025, new millennial, is the kiss of death. Yeah. You can't do anything. You don't have to have a lot of money. You don't even have to have little debt. You just have the right amount of debt, and you make sure you pay everything in time. And Bob's your uncle. The world is your oyster, right? So
keep that
the
credit
inconvenience of bad credit is a serious thing, guys. Red says Jen Tosh is right. Reds is saying nice one, Nino.
Wicked. Thank you, Reds. Big up.
Red says, what is this split the bill all about? Well, it depends. If parents are there, there's no split bill.
Well, listen, we've been paying the bills for our kids forever, and it's time they start paying the bills. It gives me so much pleasure to go to a restaurant with our kids and one of them pay.
Yeah.
For a change, eh?
But in their defense, most times when the bill comes, we've always grab the bill and pay the bill, right?
True. And they've become adults, and they still expect Dad to do the same
thing.
That
they expect it, you just pay the bill.
But still, I mean, I want once in a while. Let them fight me for the bill. Grab it.
Red Room says cash. What is that? Cash. Does anybody carry cash these days?
Cash. What is
if
that?
I go somewhere,
I love having $20 or $40 in my wallet. That's freedom.
There's one Jamaican
every now and then
takeout place that we go to that doesn't have tap, and it's the most inconvenient thing. Their food is good, the patties are good, but the fact that they don't take tap,
that will discourage you from ever going back.
It
discourages you.
Now, David says, we're having a discussion here with my daughters about learning cursive in school right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they teach cursive writing in school, or as my mother's generation used to call it, Gino. And you can always tell Jamaican Gino because it's all the same, because they were all taught the same way to write, guys.
Gino writing.
Oh. Now, Red says, nice one, David. Red says we all pay the bills, okay? And David Hunter saying cash. I always carry cash on me just in case.
I like to have a little bit of cash, not a lot.
I rarely have cash.
I think,
Rarely have cash. Red's Room says that's about how much I carry, $40.
Yeah, $40. That's about enough.
I
don't even like spending it.
They dislike carrying coins. I hate carrying coins too.
But Reds,
I never use my coins.
I tell you, one of the things I do, Reds, is when I go on vacation, I always have quite a sum of cash with me.
Well, we have some bills to tip, depending on where we go.
It's mainly for tipping, and I have a few $100s tucked aside somewhere, but I never use it. I always come back with it because I'm so busy always tapping. Tapping. That to me, the cash is just my bounce back, my security, but I would prefer to tap.
Watch Queen says, that's right. Everyone paid the bills. My kids were paying 50-50, hence the splitting of the bill. Okay, so it was Mother's Day. You were getting treated, right? Do you remember, R&R says, do you remember when there used to be bank books that you would...
That is so archaic.
You would use at the ATMs.
Listen, Reds.
No, that's R&R.
R&R. You used to have to go update your bank book. Remember
that?
That is so like dinosaur. Yes. Update your bank book. And when you couldn't update it digitally, the teller would write a little something in it. Like write $25 balance.
Many moons ago, before I went to nursing school, I worked in a bank as a bank teller, and I remember those god awful bank books that people would come in just to update their bank books.
That was crazy.
Oh my God, I haven't thought about that.
That wasn't that long ago.
No,
that wasn't that long ago.
I haven't thought about that in a long time. Now, Red's Room says we have cash for tipping when on vacation.
Yes.
Especially if you go to places like DR, like where Watch Queen just came from.
Because
they pay such little wages to the people that help.
And the funny thing is, when you go to a place like DR, they so appreciate it.
Yeah.
They really appreciate it. It goes a long way with it.
Yeah, even though it's an all-inclusive usually that you stay in and they say that you don't need to tip, we always
do that.
Yeah. Ian says, I call the restaurant ahead so the server is prepared is splitting the bill is necessary. Definitely if I'm out with my momsy, because she will go for the grab too. I guess it's us rotary phone generations.
Yeah. We got that. We like to make sure the
See,
little
Red
bears are
says
taken
I
care of.
can never go back to a bank lineup. Let me tell you, I had to go into a bank the other
that's
day
painful. It's painful.
because my debit card wasn't working, probably from overuse. But there was no lineup. The bank, I just walked right into
it's
the
actually
teller.
quite painful to stand up in a bank because they have such minimal staff.
Yes, that's
they
true.
may have one or two tellers, and being a rotary phone, you have all these other rotary phones standing in line.
When I worked in a
And
bank,
it's just a long.
there was
so
like
inconvenient.
maybe 10 tellers.
Not anymore.
Now,
Walk in the bank,
David
you're not gonna see
says, and we are discussing the importance of not knowing how to read cursive. My daughter is a substitute teacher, and the kids ask her to read cursive for them because they couldn't read it. Oh my God, that's a sad state of affairs. They can't read cursive writing because when they text each other,
there's nothing.
There's no
about
cursive,
it. Yeah.
so they never really use cursive when they make their resumes and all that. They're not using cursive.
Gentiles is saying that people still update bank books.
Oh wow!
In Jamaica.
Oh wow!
That is so behind time.
Half an hour lineup to put a couple $100 into the bank.
Imagine that. Is that worth your time?
And what do you don't even need to go to the bank to deposit a check anymore. Mm-hmm. You can do that with your smartphone. You just need to take a picture of the check. Did you know that? Adam is here.
Hey Adam, welcome to the channel.
Adam says, in the West, tips is only really commonplace in the US.
That is so true because we know over in Asia, when we have been in Japan before, they don't accept tips.
Yeah, some places they don't accept tips. And when they're giving you your change, they give it to you like this with two hands, and they bow to say thank you.
They receive the payment with two hands. They show that gratification. They show that appreciation.
Yes.
And to them, tipping is not necessary. That they're just doing their job. You don't need to tip them for doing their job.
The lack of staff in a bank now is even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Reds is saying it wasn't worth his time. Banking in Jamaica is an all-day thing, says Gentosh.
And I recall one day, as we were talking about hotel and banking, there was we stayed in a hotel in Jamaica, and up on my next visit, Lo packed a little care package for one of the lady that was really nice to the kids while we were there. And when I handed her the package, do you know what the woman said to me? Not even thank you, but she never sent any money. Can you believe that?
That was the last time.
That was it. She was done. She never sent any money.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So Red's Room says, let's talk about the real danger of digital transfers. You know what? With all this modern technology, the scammers are getting more and more
advanced,
innovative, and smart, and they can steal your information in a heartbeat. Even when you don't even realize what they're doing, even with all your alerts on high, they can still get you.
There's always something going on. One of the things that I remember years ago, my friend was telling me, he owned a gas station. And while they were doing some electrical work, up in his ceiling, they found a pinhole camera. Where someone had set up a pinhole camera, and they're looking down at people inputting their password. So now I'm in the habit of whenever I put my card in the machine, I put my hand over it to hide the pin pad.
That's right.
In the event, because I'm always in the back of my mind, I'm thinking there's a pinhole up there. So just beware, guys.
Now, Red's Room is saying that one wrong move and they can just
wipe you out.
Clean out your bank account, right?
You can be buying houses south of the border, you don't even know it.
And David is saying kids don't learn cursive writing nowadays. It's a thing, right?
Not part of the curriculum.
Now I have a story that's a little funny. And I remember when we talk about modern technology, right? So Nino has in his little toolkit of kitchen tools, this little can opener thing that he says they use in Jamaica. Now it has a real spiky side on one side, and it's a weird looking can opener. Not
if you're Jamaican, you know the old fashioned can opener. Where you go,
So our electric can opener stopped working, and I'm complaining to Nino, how the hell am I going to open this can? And Nino's like, just get the manual can opener, and he picks up this thing out of the drawer that looks like something out of the dark ages. And I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do that? Am I supposed to stab? Like, how the hell do you use this? and then he stabbed it and used the little thing to open it. He says that's how they open cans in Jamaica. I never knew how to use that thing. I'm all for the electric can opener.
Boy, that was a luxury. We never had that growing up.
And the funny thing here, you remember when microwaves first came out? A lot of people didn't have a microwave. We used to
and they were quite expensive.
That's right. We used to put everything on the stove in a pot to reheat everything. Right? Who had a microwave?
Now we got air fryer.
Oh yeah, I love the air fryer.
Portable.
And Ninja Twan says, while people are worrying about cursive writing, chopper them a chop out your life savings. Ninja, where you have to do it? Where you have to go there? Listen,
the chopper.
Cursive writing is an important part of modern day life, okay? Yes, the chopper them a chop way, but we still need to learn cursive writing. Thank you very much. Now, Adam says, Japan must be an interesting place to visit. Always wanted to go old school, natural hot pools and drink some sake. Adam, we've been to Japan a couple times. Our son lives in Japan.
I love Japan.
And Japan is like, it's so different than North America. Culturally, visually. Talk about modern technology. They're on the cusp of modern technology.
If you ever want to feel living in the Western world that we're behind,
we are so
just
behind.
Go to Japan.
We're
so behind. We do things like we're in the bloody Stone Ages compared to them.
Yeah,
it's far
such
ahead.
A different culture. You're as a customer, they make you feel very appreciated. It's an amazing place. If you ever get the chance, make sure you go visit. Watch Queen says, we use a knife. That's how they open
There
cans.
you go, Watch Queen. There are times when I can use a knife if I have to.
Now, Adam says it's very homogeneous. That's a big word,
homogeneous.
Adam. That's a big word. Gary, can you enlighten us? Red's Room says, I've always wanted to visit Japan. Well, when we go, we're definitely going to take you guys with us because we definitely have to go soon. Maybe not the summer. Maybe in the fall. I don't know. We'll see.
We got to get there soon.
I got to get there soon to see my son's new apartment and see what's going on. But yeah, Japan is amazeballs, guys. And they have a lot of Jamaican culture. They love the Jamaican culture over there.
Osaka?
Osaka?
I think it's in Osaka. We haven't been to Osaka. We've been to Nagano. We've been to Tokyo.
Nagano, Chiba, Tokyo.
Tyler's been to Osaka because he spent some time up there. The reggae is a big thing up in Osaka. Really big thing. Why is that boy walking on my grass?
Watch Green says, I'm mixing up my words. Japan is on the bucket list for me, says David. R&R says, meet and greet in Japan.
There you go.
Yes, meet and greet Japan.
There you go. I'm actually quite jealous of them because they all went to Japan and went to Disney in Japan.
Ooh.
And I wasn't on that trip.
Yeah, guys, if you look in our
the time they had a time of their life.
If you look at some of our videos, you'll see the videos of when I went to Disney with the kids, the grown kids.
The grown adults.
We do have a couple videos on our channel of when we went to Japan. Do we speak Japanese? We don't speak Japanese. Very, very un petit peu.
Our son speaks Japanese, though.
But our son is fluent in Japanese.
And he tries to teach little Zuri words every time he calls.
Sayonara and Ohayo gozaimasu, which means good morning. I am a rotary phone elder millennial who is a bit skittish with the unfettered access AI has on my life. Listen, Ian, you are not an elderly millennial. Well, maybe, I guess. I guess you would be called an elder millennial.
Adam's asking, is your son teaching? Well,
he was teaching, but he's not teaching anymore. Now he works in the financial sector.
Initially, when he went to Japan,
he was teaching.
No, be honest. It all happened over a girl, as you would figure.
No.
That's when he went there first.
When he was in high school, he had a Japanese girlfriend, and he went and visited her parents.
Went to university, and then he still had a Japanese girlfriend.
Yes, and then that's where his love of Japan first came about. But then they broke up, and he still
he's in love with the place.
And he was teaching in the beginning, and now he works in the financial sector, and he loves it. Trust me. Those kids that go over there on those teaching contracts, it gets them there. They get to see the place and everything, but it's not a livable wage, really. You have to have parents that can help you out.
And boy, did we ever finance it.
David says, Ohio
Ohio
gozaimasu.
gozaimasu.
Oh, Roppongi. I remember Roppongi in Tokyo as a healthy dance hall scene, says Ninja Twan.
Mm-hmm.
Roppongi is where it goes down in Tokyo, okay? That's where all the... Listen, you have to watch yourself in Roppongi, okay? Now, mind you, the Japanese people are not like, warmongers, and they're not going to want to come and fight, but Roppongi is where it goes down. R&R says, I am craving sushi now. Adam says that's how he went to Germany to teach. Very nice, very nice. Listen, if you guys can travel the world teaching English, I highly suggest, because the way things are now, you can't have your acre and your mule and your mortgage, not in Canada anyways, unless you have $1 million.
David Hunt is saying,
Sayonara, Nino-san.
Thank you, David.
You have to bow. Sayonara, Nino-san. Oh, look at the time. We should be wrapping up. Next year, it's on her list to go to Japan, says Watch Queen. Ian says, I am most certainly on the cusp of being an elderly millennial. 1984. Listen, I have clothes in my closet from 1984, Mr. Ian Sinclair. Adam is saying, to get the girl. Arigato gozaimasu. And I'm telling you, in Japan, depending on where you are, as far as an elder to the person who's speaking to you. So if there's somebody I'm speaking to that's significantly older, there's a different way of speaking to that person than if if it's just you and your homie. They're very informal, but they can be very formal. Very formal.
And they're very disciplined.
Very disciplined.
Very disciplined in life.
All right, so we're wrapping it up. Can convenience and skills still coexist? I say yes.
I think they
Using delivery apps for busy nights, but still cooking from scratch on weekends. Watching your YouTube tutorials to learn new skills, but still you practice those skills instead of just watching. And you use GPS when you're lost, but when you don't have to use it every day.
Well,
but
how about you use GPS not to get lost?
No, if you're lost, go ahead, click it on, but don't rely on GPS all the time.
Gotcha.
Use tech as a tool, not as a crutch, right? Use spell check to catch your mistakes, but still know basic grammar and spelling. Use Google Maps to explore new places, but also learn how to read a map, guys.
I like skills that go hand in hand with technology.
Right.
Cook from scratch and
using meal plan. And with me, I love to grow different plants, herbs, flowers, or whatever. I use gardening apps to track when to plant, how to plant, when is a good time to harvest, right?
And as much as I learned how to cook fried chicken for my grandma, I can teach you how to add some modern technology to that and to make it better and improve on it.
That's right. All right. Okay, let me go back. Ian says the quality of clothes aren't the same caliber these days. So you wouldn't have something in your closet from 1980, whatever. Great convo, says Red's Room. Thanks for the wonderful live, says David. I need GOS or GPS, I think Gentosh meant to say. David says I use Waze to keep up with the cops. Yes, I've heard about Waze.
Waze is a good one. I think I've got that on my phone.
GT grows in Alaska saying hello
GT, big
to
up
Nino and
yourself.
Lo. And look at that, Red's Room just sent 5 Nino and Lo gift memberships. Thank you,
Red's Room.
As we mentioned at the top of the show, we just opened up our membership. And look at that. Red's Room just is our first member.
Yes,
and
sir.
he has just gifted 5 memberships.
Yes,
so look out into your YouTube notifications. You could be one. Oh, actually, here they are right now. David Hunter, Little Pro 247, LP Dimensions, and Jamaican Queen Lifestyle.
Right.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
guys
Red's Room,
are
for
now
gifting
officially part of the Nino and Lo crew.
Yes.
GT Grows in Alaska said just popping in to hit the like button and say hello. Well, we appreciate that.
Hello.
We are just wrapping up here. David Hunter is hailing up GT. Red's Room says, both time Uno set up the thing.
Set up the thing. Wicked
Easy
and
no,
wild.
Reds. Easy
Membership
no.
set up. Membership come.
Oh, that is so nice.
That is nice. Very nice.
Thank you, Reds. Thank you, everybody. Gentosh is clapping. Let's go. Welcome to the Nino and Lo crew.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Welcome,
we have
guys.
our new member.
Mm-hmm.
Great show, guys. Says
We
Gentosh.
appreciate it. We appreciate you.
Watch Crean says, bless up yourself, Reds. That was a great
Yeah, man,
session,
really
says
enjoyed
R&R. Reds
Really
Room says,
enjoyed
you
that.
guys are awesome. So, do you think that technology has made us better at some things or just lazier overall? I think
I think it's a little of both.
I think that
Little
we
both.
can use technology to advance,
Mm-hmm.
but still hold on to some of those
This
things that
old
made us
traditional.
veer.
And don't forget, guys, the one thing I don't want to lose is my Saturday soup.
Okay.
Stop the cup of soup thing.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining. And thank you all for participating in this week's
And
conversation.
don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And what do I always say? Tell your
Yeah,
auntie,
friend.
to tell your cousin, to tell your mother, to tell even the in-laws that you don't like. To
Yes.
check out Nino and Lo.
And thanks for another fabulous chat, says Ian. Much love and blessings for the upcoming
And we
week,
appreciate
you all.
you guys. You guys are wonderful. Keep reaching out. Keep subscribing. Keep encouraging others. Keep building and growing with us because we're all going to grow together.
And Red says it makes us better, but it also makes us very fragile. And look at that, Yvette Guthrie is popping in to say hello.
Go on, Yvette. Big up yourself. We're glad to have you
Nice
here.
to have you popping in. We're just about
just wrapping
popping
up.
out. We're wrapping up.
We had a very awesome and encouraging topic today, and we're looking forward. Don't forget to join us next week, Sunday, as we have another episode of Nino and Lo.
Yes.
Yes.
We're venturing away from the Infama window if you haven't noticed.
Yes.
But that's another day, another topic. But thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next time. Same bat time, same bat channel.
What's on the menus?
I'm out.
I'm out.